I'm about to give you 31 reasons why District 1 in Ho Chi Minh City should be at the very top of your Vietnam bucket list. We're talking about a district where you can explore temples built in the 1760s, shop at markets that have over 1,500 vendors, and experience a food scene that ranges from 50-cent street food to world-class restaurants. This isn't just a travel guide. It's your complete playbook for making the most of every single hour you spend in this incredible part of Vietnam. First on our list is Independence Palace, and you're going to walk through the exact same rooms where the Vietnam War officially ended in 1975. Picture yourself standing in these preserved spaces where history changed forever. Most tourists rush through the main floors without knowing they're missing the underground bunkers and secret tunnels below where the real action happened. On April 30th, 1975, North Vietnamese tanks crashed through these very gates, ending decades of conflict in one dramatic moment. You'll see the preserved 1960s furniture exactly as it was left. War room maps still hanging on display and the telecommunications center frozen in time. The president's living quarters show you how South Vietnam's leaders lived during those final years. Visit early morning around 8 a.m. to avoid crowds, spend 90 minutes here, and don't miss those basement levels most people skip. Next up is the Notre Dame Cathedral of Saigon and Saigon Central Post Office. Two buildings sitting side by side that tell the story of French colonial influence better than any history book. The cathedral has been under renovation for years, but there's still plenty to see that most visitors walk right past. Every single brick for Notre Dame was shipped from France in the 1880s, including those red bricks from Marseille that give it that distinctive look. The Twin Towers reach almost 60 meters high with a Swiss-made clock from 1887 sitting between them. Right across the street, the post office showcases the largest hand-painted map of old Indochina, covering an entire wall. The post office still functions today, so you can actually mail postcards home from this architectural wonder designed using Gustav Eiffel's blueprints. Visit around 2 p.m. when the lighting is perfect for photos, spend 45 minutes total, and step inside the post office to see that massive map and those Victorian-era wooden phone booths. Our next essential spot is Ho Chi Minh City Book Street, officially known as Nguyen Van Binh Street. Imagine an entire street dedicated to books, where you can find everything from Vietnamese literature to international bestsellers. This pedestrian-only street appears small from the entrance, but it's packed with hidden gems most book lovers never discover. Walk through multiple bookstores, outdoor reading areas, and cafes where locals spend entire afternoons reading. You'll find rare Vietnamese books translated to English, beautiful coffee table books about Vietnam, and cozy spots to sit and read. The street creates inviting spaces where you can escape the city's hustle and bustle. Perfect for late afternoon visits around 4 p.m., plan 60 minutes here, and look for the upper-level bookstores with better selections. Book Street proves that Ho Chi Minh City values knowledge and literature as much as commerce and tourism. Next must-see spot is the Ho Chi Minh City Hall and Saigon Opera House, two French colonial buildings that face each other like elegant bookends of District 1's main square. While you can't enter City Hall, the Opera House offers tours that most tourists don't know about. The City Hall, built in 1908, now serves as the People's Committee building and lights up beautifully at night. This neoclassical building serves as the administrative headquarters with elegant design reflecting the city's colonial past. The Opera House was designed by French architect Eugène Ferré in 1897, with its facade mirroring the Petit Palais in Paris. The Opera House hosts world-class performances and offers behind-the-scenes tours showing original French architecture with modern Vietnamese additions. Visit at sunset around 6 p.m. for the best photos. Spend 30 minutes outside City Hall and 60 minutes touring the Opera House. Moving on to the Ho Chi Minh City Museum. This place houses artifacts that span 2,000 years of history, but most visitors only see the ground floor. The real treasures are hidden on the upper floors where ancient Cham artifacts and French colonial items tell deeper stories. Discover pottery from the Oak Eo culture. weapons from various wars, and everyday items that show how people lived through different eras. You'll find stone and bronze sculptures, Angkor Wat relics, and even a well-preserved mummy. The exhibits cover everything from ancient civilizations like the Dongsun and Funan to village handicrafts and Saigon's cultural evolution. The building itself is a 1920s French colonial mansion, so you're experiencing history just by walking through its rooms. Allow 2 hours for a complete visit, start on the top floor, and work down. And don't miss the courtyard garden area. Up next is the Jade Emperor Pagoda, also known as Ngak Huang Pagoda, where you'll step into this temple and find yourself surrounded by over 300 ancient statues depicting gods, demons, and mythical creatures. The maze-like layout means most visitors miss entire rooms filled with intricate carvings and important religious artifacts. Incense smoke fills every corner as you discover statues of the Jade Emperor, scenes from Buddhist and Taoist mythology, and a turtle pond that's considered sacred. You'll see 100 carved wooden panels with Chinese couplets telling ancient stories. This temple gained international fame when President Obama visited in 2016, but locals have been coming here for over a century to pray for health and prosperity. Visit early morning around 7 a.m. for the most spiritual atmosphere, spend 90 minutes exploring every room, and bring a small donation. Next on our list is Tao Dan Park, a 10-hectare green space that serves as the lungs of District 1, where locals exercise, socialize, and escape the city's noise. Tourists often walk past this park without realizing it's where you can see authentic Vietnamese daily life in action. Watch morning Tai Chi classes where dozens of people move in slow motion under towering trees. You'll see evening badminton games with families setting up nets wherever they find space. Families gather for picnics under century-old trees that have watched this city transform for generations. The park features walking paths that wind around exercise equipment, a small lake where kids feed fish, and food vendors selling fresh coconut water and local snacks. Best experienced at 6 a.m. for morning exercises or 5 p.m. for evening activities, plan 45 minutes to walk the entire park. Our next essential stop is the Saigon Zoo and Botanical Garden, opened in 1864, making it one of the world's oldest zoos. But the Botanical Garden section is what makes it truly special. Most visitors focus on the animals and completely miss the rare plant collections and historical significance of the gardens. Explore over 2,000 plant species, including ancient trees that survived the Vietnam War and rare orchids found nowhere else in the city. You'll find bonsai gardens, orchid gardens, and lakes scattered throughout the grounds. The zoo houses over 1,000 animals, including 125 species of mammals, reptiles, and birds. But the real highlight is seeing how Vietnamese families use this space for education and recreation. Plan a full morning visit starting at 8 a.m., spend 3 hours total, and focus equal time on both animals and plants. Next must-see spot is Bach Dang Quay Park. This riverside park along the Saigon River that offers the best sunset views in District 1. But timing is everything. The park transforms completely from day to night, and most tourists only see one version of its personality. During the day, it's a quiet spot for river views and watching cargo ships pass by on their way to the South China Sea. You can sit on benches facing the water and watch the constant flow of boats carrying goods from Vietnam's interior to international ports. Visit twice if possible, once at 3 p.m. for river views and again at 7 p.m. for the social atmosphere. Spend 45 minutes each time. Up next is Turtle Lake, and this isn't actually a lake anymore, but the turtle statue in the center has become one of District 1's most recognizable symbols. The story behind why there's a giant turtle statue in the middle of a busy intersection involves Vietnamese legend and urban planning coming together in unexpected ways. The turtle represents longevity and wisdom in Vietnamese culture, and this statue serves as a meeting point for locals and a navigation landmark for tourists. You'll see people using it as their central reference point when giving directions around the city. Surrounding the roundabout are some of District 1's best shopping and dining options, making it a natural starting point for exploration. Use this as your central reference point, Spend 15 minutes taking photos and getting oriented, then explore the surrounding area. The next few spots will cover some amazing shopping experiences in District 1. First is Ben Thanh Market, which has been feeding and clothing Ho Chi Minh City residents since the early 1600s, and it shows no signs of slowing down. The overwhelming number of choices and aggressive vendors can scare off tourists, but there's a strategy to shopping here successfully. Navigate through sections dedicated to fresh produce, street food, clothing, souvenirs, and household goods that locals actually buy. You'll find over 1,500 booths selling everything from lacquerware to traditional Ao Dai clothing. The real experience happens at the food court inside, where you can try pho, banh mi, and fresh fruit smoothies at local prices. Visit at 10 a.m. to avoid crowds, budget 2 hours, learn basic bargaining phrases, and always eat at the food stalls inside. The next essential spot is Dong Khoi Street, this pedestrian-friendly street that connects many of District 1's major attractions while offering some of the city's best shopping. The mix of high-end boutiques and local shops can be confusing, but each section of the street has its own personality. Walk from luxury hotels and international brands down to local art galleries, bookstores, and family-run businesses. You'll find designer brands, fine boutiques, and sophisticated jewelry stores mixed with traditional Vietnamese shops. Street performers, sidewalk cafes, and historic buildings create an atmosphere that changes every few blocks. Plan a leisurely 2-hour walk, stop at multiple cafes, and use this street to connect other attractions on your itinerary. Dong Khoi Street demonstrates how modern Vietnamese cities balance international commerce with local character. Next up is Saigon Center and Vincom Center. These two shopping centers represent the modern face of Vietnamese retail, with international brands and local luxury stores. The prices might shock budget travelers, but these malls offer experiences you can't find in traditional markets. Explore multiple floors of fashion, electronics, home goods, and restaurants that cater to Ho Chi Minh City's growing middle class. Vincom Center hosts over 150 stores across 6 levels, including top fashion brands like Zara and H&M, plus premium jewelry stores such as Swarovski and P&J. Saigon Center features 8 floors with luxury brands like Gucci, Chanel, Lacoste, Nike, and Adidas. The food courts feature both international chains and upscale Vietnamese restaurants, giving you dining options for every budget. Visit during weekday afternoons for smaller crowds, budget 90 minutes, and focus on the upper floors for better restaurants. Our next stop is Saigon Square, this multi-level shopping complex famous for affordable fashion. But the real treasures require some serious searching. The maze-like layout and aggressive sales tactics can overwhelm first-time visitors, but persistence pays off. Hunt through stalls selling everything from designer knockoffs to genuine Vietnamese handicrafts at prices that seem too good to be true. You'll find trendy local favorites, international secondhand items, traditional Vietnamese crafts, lacquerware, and silk products all under one roof. The key is knowing which stalls offer quality items versus cheap imitations, and understanding the unwritten rules of bargaining. Visit in the afternoon around 2 p.m., bring cash, expect to spend 90 minutes, and always negotiate prices down by at least 30%. Start your negotiation at about half the initial asking price and work your way up from there. Now let's shift from shopping to some incredible coffee shops and cafes you need to check out. Next must-see spot is Little Hanoi Egg Coffee. This small cafe that brings Hanoi's famous egg coffee tradition to Ho Chi Minh City, but with a southern twist. The combination of raw egg, coffee, and condensed milk sounds strange to many visitors, but the taste is surprisingly addictive. Watch baristas whip egg yolks with sugar and condensed milk into a creamy foam that sits on top of strong Vietnamese coffee. This meticulous process creates a layered drink with balanced textures and flavors. The cafe also serves other northern Vietnamese specialties like bún cha and pho ga, giving you a taste of Hanoi without leaving District 1. Visit mid-morning around 10 a.m., spend 45 minutes, order the original egg coffee, and try a northern Vietnamese snack. Up next is Su Cafe, formerly known as Hidden Elephant Books and Coffee. This trendy cafe represents the new generation of Vietnamese coffee culture, where presentation is just as important as taste. The Instagram-perfect setting might seem superficial, but the coffee quality and local following prove there's substance behind the style. Experience elaborate coffee presentations, unique flavor combinations, and a social atmosphere where young Vietnamese professionals gather. You'll see carefully crafted latte art, colorful drinks served in unique glassware, and creative coffee combinations that blend traditional Vietnamese coffee with modern techniques. The cafe features multiple floors with different themes from minimalist modern to vintage Vietnamese, creating perfect photo opportunities. Visit in the afternoon around 3 p.m. for the best lighting, plan 60 minutes, and try their signature drinks for the full experience. Next on our list is the Cafe Apartment, located at 42 Nguyen Hue Street. This 9-story building houses dozens of independent cafes, each with its own theme, menu, and atmosphere. With so many choices in one building, most visitors only see 1 or 2 cafes and miss the diversity of experiences available. Explore everything from minimalist Japanese-style cafes to vintage Vietnamese coffee shops, each occupying a different floor or section. You'll find modern interiors that contrast sharply with the building's gritty exterior facade. The building itself tells the story of adaptive reuse, transforming old apartments into creative spaces for young entrepreneurs and becoming a sanctuary for the city's hipster youth. Plan 2 hours to visit at least 3 different cafes, start from the top floor and work down and try different coffee styles. Next must-see spot is Okio Cafe, located on the east side of Ben Thanh Market. This Italian-Vietnamese fusion cafe combines European coffee techniques with local ingredients and Vietnamese hospitality. The fusion concept could easily go wrong, but the Italian owner's respect for Vietnamese coffee culture creates something unique. Taste espresso-based drinks made with Vietnamese coffee beans, Italian pastries adapted for local tastes, and creative combinations you won't find anywhere else. Try their Topaz Date coffee drink made with coconut, pineapple, grapefruit, and cold brew, concentrate served in a cocktail glass with burnt lime garnish. The cafe also offers coffee education, teaching customers about different brewing methods and the differences between Italian and Vietnamese coffee traditions. Visit late morning around 11 a.m., spend 60 minutes, try both Italian and Vietnamese style drinks, and ask about the coffee education programs. Now let's shift from amazing coffee experiences to some incredible food and restaurants you need to try. Our next essential spot is Japantown, this concentrated area of Japanese restaurants, shops, and services that serves the large Japanese expat community in Ho Chi Minh City. Many tourists walk through without realizing they're experiencing authentic Japanese culture adapted for Vietnamese tastes. Discover ramen shops run by Japanese chefs, bookstores with Japanese manga, and grocery stores selling imported Japanese ingredients. You'll find authentic tonkatsu ramen, fresh sushi made daily, and Japanese convenience stores stocking everything from sake to instant noodles. The area also features Japanese-style cafes, karaoke bars, and even a Japanese school, creating a complete cultural ecosystem. Visit during lunchtime around noon for the best restaurant selection, plan 2 hours, and try at least 2 different Japanese restaurants. Next up is Hue Tu Nam Vang Thanh Dat, this unassuming restaurant that serves hue tu, a noodle soup that originated in Cambodia but became a Vietnamese staple. The plain exterior and local-only atmosphere might intimidate tourists, but the food quality attracts lines of Vietnamese customers daily. Experience clear broth filled with pork, shrimp, and vegetables served over rice noodles, representing the Cambodian influence on Vietnamese cuisine. You'll taste the perfect balance of sweet and savory flavors that Vietnamese cooks have adapted from the original Cambodian recipe to suit local tastes. The restaurant has been family-owned for decades, with recipes passed down through generations, and preparation methods that haven't changed. Visit for breakfast around 8 a.m., expect to spend 30 minutes, order the classic Hu Tiu Nam Vang, and don't worry about the language barrier. Next essential spot is Pho Phung, and while tourists line up at famous pho restaurants, locals quietly eat at this neighborhood spot that's been perfecting their recipe for 30 years. The lack of English menu and tourist amenities might seem challenging, but the authentic experience is worth the effort. Taste pho made with beef bones simmered for 12 hours, fresh herbs grown in the Mekong Delta, and noodles made daily in-house. This long simmering process extracts rich, full-bodied flavors that define authentic pho. The restaurant serves only pho bo and pho ga, focusing on perfection rather than variety, with each bowl customized to your preferences. Visit for lunch around 11 a.m., spend 45 minutes, point to what other customers are eating, and add herbs and sauces to taste. Moving on to VK Kitchen, this restaurant recreates the experience of eating in a Vietnamese family home, with recipes passed down through generations. The home-style presentation might seem simple compared to fancy restaurants, but the flavors represent authentic Vietnamese family cooking. Try dishes like can chua, sour soup, thit co, braised pork, and cum tam, broken rice, that Vietnamese mothers make for their families. These traditional dishes showcase the true essence of Vietnamese home cooking with authentic preparation methods. The restaurant sources ingredients from local markets daily and prepares everything fresh, just like Vietnamese home cooks do. Visit for dinner around 6 p.m., spend 90 minutes, order family-style dishes to share, and ask staff for recommendations based on your preferences. Next essential stop is Banh Mi Huyen Hoa. This banh mi shop's so popular that customers literally block traffic while waiting in line for sandwiches. The 30-minute wait and crowded conditions might test your patience, but one bite explains why locals consider this worth the hassle. Watch bakers prepare fresh baguettes throughout the day and load them with combinations of Vietnamese cold cuts, pate, vegetables, and sauces. You'll see them slice open crusty bread that's still warm from the oven and pack it with generous amounts of meat and fresh ingredients. The secret is in the bread-to-filling ratio and the quality of ingredients, with each sandwich containing more meat than most restaurants serve as main courses. Visit mid-afternoon around 3 p.m. to avoid peak lunch crowds, expect a 20-minute wait, and order the special combination for the full experience. Up next is the Nico Hotel Seafood Buffet. This upscale buffet that features seafood caught fresh from Vietnamese waters, prepared by international chefs using both Asian and Western techniques. The high price point might seem excessive for Vietnam, but the quality and variety justify the cost for a special occasion. Experience everything from Mekong Delta River fish to South China Sea shellfish, prepared as sashimi, grilled, steamed, and in traditional Vietnamese preparations. You'll find premium crab, lobster, prawns, and fish prepared multiple ways on the same night. The buffet also includes premium cuts of meat, international dishes, and desserts, making it a complete luxury dining experience. Visit for dinner around 7 p.m., budget 2 hours, and expect to pay premium prices, but consider it a special occasion meal. Last on our list is Bui Vien Walking Street. And when it comes to nightlife, this pedestrian street transforms into Southeast Asia's most famous backpacker party destination after dark. The reputation for cheap drinks and rowdy tourists overshadows the street's role as a cultural meeting point for travelers from around the world. Experience everything from rooftop bars and street food vendors to massage parlors and souvenir shops, all packed into a few city blocks. You'll find beer for under $1, street food served until 3 a.m., and travelers from every continent sharing stories about their Southeast Asian adventures. The street serves as a launching point for travelers heading to other parts of Vietnam and Southeast Asia, creating a constantly changing international community. Visit after 8 p.m. for the full experience. Plan 2 to 3 hours. Pace yourself with the drinking and use it as a chance to meet other travelers. These 26 experiences create a complete picture of District 1's diversity and cultural richness. You've got historical landmarks like Independence Palace, spiritual sites like Ngak Hoang Pagoda, shopping from Ben Thun Market to luxury malls, and food ranging from street vendors to upscale buffets. Use this guide to plan your own District 1 adventure and make the most of your time in Vietnam's most exciting district. District 1 represents Vietnam's past, present, and future, all existing in one compact area. Ancient temples stand next to French colonial buildings, while modern cafes serve traditional Vietnamese coffee with contemporary twists. If this helped you plan your trip, hit that like button, subscribe for more Vietnam travel guides, and comment below with which spot you're most excited to visit.